What's going on, everyone? Here's my review for the end of the world. And with this show, this is Netflix's latest show where it started in 2017 and finally, 2 years later, the second season dropped. Now, for those of you that don't know the premise of this show, it's simple. It follows James and Alyssa as they embark on searching for Alyssa's father, who left at an early age, as these two people both look at each other as psychopaths with indulgence and violence. And this is a show that's based on a comic book series based on the same name. Now, I didn't read the comic books. I did start the show when it came out in 2017 because based on the title, I was like, it sounds interesting. And it's a British show. And I mean, like, I gotta, give my dabble in British shows too, And I have to say right off the bat, I think that the show is very well acted in both seasons. These characters are very enriched. You do care about where they're coming from because of the humor. It's a very dark, sardonic kind of type of humor, and in that approach, I respect it. I don't always laugh, but I respect with what it's going for because I feel like dark humor really doesn't get a lot in terms of like mainstream media. So it's kind of interesting to see like a show that's able to like tackle it with ease. Like, I mean, this show is very dark, but it does it in such a way that's very interesting to both the characters and the story that it's telling. I also love the soundtrack. Like, it's all pretty much songs that you've heard either before or obviously as a soundtrack. There's not much score to this show, but that's fine because I feel like the soundtrack really does evoke emotions in a very interesting way. This is also a show that's very well shot, I think, which is always good to hear when a comedy show is able to do that because I feel like so many times the cliche is that comedies aren't well filmed. So to see a show that is very attention to detail oriented, it's very nice to see. I also like the twists and turns, especially in the first season. I think the first season has some nice, neat surprises. In terms of both seasons, because obviously this is my review for both, and it's spoiler-free, like I said, a lot of this show works, but I do think that the second season, the first season is good. The second season I also think is good, but I do think the second season kind of settles into a formula of what the first season was. And don't get me wrong, again, the second season has its moments. It's good. It's good writing. It's interesting, and I really like the different perspectives that it unveils in front of the audience. It's very interesting, and I also like how fast-paced the show is, especially with the second season. But at the end of the day, I couldn't help but notice that a lot of these beats kind of felt familiar. And on top of that, I do kind of feel like in the second season, some of the character development kind of fizzled out towards the second half. And when I say that, I know some people might be like, what are you talking about? But I personally believe that because I found myself less invested as the second season progressed. Like, I still enjoyed what the characters were doing and everything because of all the events that happened after the first season and even in the first couple episodes of the second season. But I couldn't help but feel as though it kind of fizzled out towards the end of the second half of the season. And again, that's completely fine because overall, I still think that the end of the world is a really good show. Like, I think it's a good show that if you haven't seen already, I would definitely recommend because, like I said, the filmmaking is good. The humor, it doesn't always make me laugh, but it's still good humor that's very interesting to see in a show. It's a British show that I feel like American audiences can also latch on to and enjoy. And that's why the end of the world, I will be giving personally a 4 to 5 star rating, which, for those like a hot sauce rating, it's the good old Louisiana Pure Crystal Hot Sauce. It's a good show. I'm not going to dive deep into the show because at the end of the day, it's only 16 episodes. So, I mean, in the time that I would have explained this show and all that it has that could possibly be analyzed, you probably could have seen the show. Because the shows, again, the first and second season are both 8 episodes apiece. And the second season, the episodes were like 19 to 25 minutes apiece. I believe it's the first season is like 25 to 30 minutes apiece, but it's short, man. It's really short. So it's the type of thing where you can breeze by it. I finished the second season in a day. I mean, that's crazy. But it is a very bingeable show. I think that if you do give it a shot, you will enjoy it. Again, it's not mind-blowing. It's not great. It's not incredible. But it is very enjoyable. And, at the end of the day, sometimes that's all you need, especially a good doses of good filmmaking. I was able to take it. So, guys, that's my thoughts on the first and second season. Spoiler-free. Managed to do that. Let me know your thoughts, though, in the comment section below. Did you like it? Did you not? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And as always, don't forget the subscription, notification bell, and I'll catch you guys later.